put anyone in jail if you know what to do.
How? Does the Bureau practice entrapment a lot?
Yeah, we get really close. We call it a nudge.
A nudge.
A nudge. Sometimes you just gotta give them a quick little, just to see what happens. Sometimes you light the fuse and just wait for it to follow. That's only putting on a fake social media thing to like really get people mad.
Alex Jones.
Yeah, so we were after him.
You are?
We did what we wanted.
Which was what?
Took his money away, chopped his legs off.
Gavin O'Blennis is a contracting officer at the CIA. O'Blennis worked for the FBI in 2021 and 2022 in the San Diego office, moved on to Homeland Security where he conducted asylum interviews at the southern border, and now works for the CIA managing multi-million-dollar contracts across government agencies and private sector vendors.
I work for, I work for this without, I'm not supposed to tell people kind of job. If I say intelligence, what do you think?
CIA?
Yep.
Oh, you work for the CIA?
I do.
That's incredible.
I'm a contracting officer.
Amazing.
So I deal a lot with like different agencies. We're contracting with like Director of National Intelligence to do stuff. We do Navy, Army, any of them really. I just FBI. I used to work for the FBI, so they threw the FBI at me. They're like, here, you used to work there. Oh, I'm permanent. So, yeah.
Good. Well, why do they call it contracting?
Because I do the contract authority. I do all the legal contracts. I play out to vendors and evaluate them. I love the agency.
Good for you.
I like the Bureau, too. The Bureau was a lot of fun. I got to do a lot of cool stuff with the Bureau. I was the guy in the back of the truck in the van.
O'Blennis spoke to an undercover Sound Investigations reporter about his work experience involving near entrapment and his employer's involvement with political commentator Alex Jones's legal battles.
As long as the Bureau is able to progress far enough to be able to put pro-lifers in jail whenever they want.
Yeah.
You think that's on the agenda?
You can kind of put anyone in jail if you know what to do.
How?
Listen up. You create the situation to where they have no choice but to act on their impulse. And once they act on that impulse, then we call that entrapment. It's a fine line.
Does the Bureau practice entrapment a lot?
Yeah, we get really close.
Not officially.
No. We get as close as we can. We get as close as we can to it without doing it.
So they can entrap some of these pro-lifers into doing things that they don't.
Yeah. We call it a nudge.
A nudge.
A nudge. Sometimes you just gotta give them a quick little, just to see what happens, right?
And how does that happen?
You put a post out there, or you have someone fake profile say something that triggers, that we know is going to trigger them, right? Like, we already know your history. If we're to that point, we already know everything about it. So we're like, oh, this will piss them off.
Oh.
Sometimes you light the fuse and just wait for it to follow. Right?
Like a rally. Mm-hmm. So when a rally happens, that's sometimes the Bureau behind it?
Yeah, sometimes. That's only putting on a fake social media thing to like really get people mad.
Mm-hmm.
Post fake news. Yeah, sometimes it's not fake. It's embellished a little bit.
Who would be like a big influencer that you're after? You're like I don't even know these names, like a Fox News person or like a Tucker Carlson or like.
Oh, I'm sure he's a right. You always want the biggest and loudest. Like that. What was his name? The one that said Sandy Hook didn't happen.
Alex Jones.
Yeah. We were after him.
You are? Are you still after him? Why?
Because he's broke. He got found guilty and had to pay like $100 million.
So why were you after him?
We're not anymore.
Just to get the money from him?
Yeah.
Was that court case used? Was that a CIA?
Sure was.
That was the agency thing?
Well, actually, it was a defamation case. So it's a civil, not government. But we were looking at all of his followers, following like, who's that going to be this to, right? So even though it's technically not not the agency, definitely the Bureau, for instance. Yeah, that's not our purview. It's a civil matter. Huh? So, it's just kind of like, realize the opportunity that you have.
So with Alex Jones, you were watching him long before anything ended up happening.
It wasn't my office, but I mean, we would have been well aware of what he was doing.
And the goal with him was what? Just to bankrupt him?
Pretty much.
Do that by the Bureau? Like nudged?
We don't encourage people,
But like,
we just say there's no federal statute being broken, but you do have the option for a civil case, and it's a pretty good case, in
nice.
our opinion.
So, oh, that makes so much sense. I have a cousin who's a lawyer. So that's a lot of these cases. They're kind of encouraged by the FBI.
Yeah, like there's nothing federal law we can do. We can go at them that way. Chop his legs off.
And they did. So the FBI was happy.
We didn't care. We were like, oh.
Basically, the citizens did your job.
Yeah.
Wow. So you can encourage a civil lawsuit.
Not encourage. Educate.
What can you do with people like Alex Jones now? Because he's still out there. He's still chirping.
He can chirp.
They still watching him?
Yeah.
Why?
We did what we wanted.
Which is what?
We took his money away. We shut him up for a while. You're never going to shut him up permanently.
Unless you put him in prison.
But again, he didn't do anything to go through. Being ignorant is not a crime. It is.
I mean, what? You could bring a gun.
He didn't incite a riot like Cheeto. He didn't encourage people to go shoot people. He didn't do anything.
Additionally, O'Blennis states that he knows and works with FBI agents who were undercover in the January 6th Capitol riot, estimating about 20 field agents were there undercover. While O'Blennis notes that they were not involved in violence, this appears to be the first admission of undercover FBI agents in attendance.
I thought you said that there were FBI agents in the crowd at J6.
There always are when there's a big protest in D.C. Just in case it gets out of hand like that.
There
wasn't enough to turn that tide. I mean, I'm talking maybe they have 20. You needed 1,000 to get rid of that crowd.
So they had like, that was just 20?
Yeah, just to go through and see what they can hear, that kind of thing.
Wow. Yeah, definitely. They needed 1,000 at least.
Well, see, that's also Capitol Police jurisdiction. They're in charge.
So the
Why they didn't have more on hand, I don't know.
The Bureau didn't really want people knowing that they were in the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Because that would be overstepping their
A
bounds.
little bit.
Do people know that?
Why?
Do people know that the Bureau was in the crowd?
No, they probably never will.
Do you know agents that were there?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
The agency knew.